Hey, good evening. Hope you are all doing well. Hope your week is going good. Um, Stepped in a bit of a mud hole yesterday, so I want to go ahead and rip that band-aid off and get the ugliness out in the open here. So yesterday, I actually had a great day going. Hit the goal in three of the five accounts, and I put those accounts to bed. I put them away, moved on to the next group and stepped in this big giant mud hole short here at the end of the day, and we did nothing but squeeze up to the freaking heavens, and it never came back. I was like, okay, eventually it has to turn around, right? Eventually it has to come back down to where I entered at or somewhere close, and admittedly, it did. It did. It gave me opportunities to get out. It gave me $189 negative to get out. It gave me a $320 negative to get out. It gave me a $1,000 negative to get out. And I said, no, no, I'm not taking any of that until you give it all to me. And it took it all from me. It was what a soul stealer of a afternoon for me yesterday. I ended up giving back 2,700 in one and 2,800 in another. Wow. Admittedly, I could have gotten out um, with $1,000 loss. I could have gotten out with a $1,500 loss, and I decided to gamble and roll the dice at the end of the day, thinking the volatility was going to come save me. It did not. We went to the freaking heavens. We went to the moon, and I mean, that's as well as I can sit here and recount and say that that is how my afternoon played out. So again, I am going to go over the P&L here. I made 440 in one, 432 in another, 511 in another, but negative. And these aren't the exact totals. Again, if I don't go back and pull the rhythmic stats before the end of the day, I can't pull them back up. So I'm sure there is a way to. If one of you all knows how to get back into that in rhythmic and pull that data up, please let me know. That would be great because it seems like if I don't do it before 4 p.m. Central, then that data is gone and I can no longer get into it. Because quite frankly, I like looking at all of this stuff that's not here right now. Um, anyway, it was like 2,700 in one, 2,800 in another, um, negative 411 on the day as a whole, and that hurt. That stung. Okay, so I trade. The Asian session opens at 5 p.m. Central Time. So I will normally try to catch the reverse of whatever move that is right at 5 o'clock. It's actually like 5:02 is normally when I will take an entry, right? So if it spikes up, I'm going short. If it spikes down, then I'm trying to catch it back and go long. Okay. So I'd already made up my mind that I was either going to get my money back on those two accounts or I was going to lose those two accounts. That is the mentality, that is the mindset I had going into last night's open. Now I will show you this spreadsheet. Spoiler alert, we got it all back. We got it all back and then some. But look at how many freaking trades I had to take to get there. And no, I was not using just two contracts. I was using five. And then when I would buy the dip, either long or short, I would use another five. So, um, yeah, of a 8 pick take profit with five contracts is $200 per trade. And I was able to chip, claw, and gnaw my way back, not only to the green, but a little bit more so than that, and get all of that money back from yesterday. Um, I made 1,400 before the end of the Asian session last night. I opened it up at 3 a.m. this morning because I normally trade the European Open. Uh, I couldn't find a trade in that at all this morning. I didn't want to gamble it if I didn't see anything, and I didn't see anything there to take long or short this morning. It was really stagnant to me this morning, so I passed on that. And then I waited for the market to open. Uh, that big volatility spike this morning here, I didn't catch any of this move. It was after this. This move is where I really started to make some money, and then I finished it off in this area here. I'm getting to this right here. I don't want this right anyway. The end of the day dump was crazy, but my point is taking my time and laying it out there. Quite honestly, a little bit. I was able to recoup all of that without really going into any drawdown because and that all started from the Asian session. If I would have had a bad first two trades in the Asian session last night, that probably would have done in those accounts. You're using 5 contracts, and if it's moving against you, and I'd already used up 2,800 of the 5,000 that is forwarded to me to lose, well, then they would have been gone. But that didn't happen. I was able to recoup. Um, I mean, ended up with a pretty freaking solid day. How? I'm not exactly sure, but I was able to pull it off and make the magic happen. And then I hit the goal in the other 3 accounts, um, and stopped trading. Stopped trading because this right here was wow. How many? That is a 200 point sell off in like 30 minutes this afternoon. And using 2 contracts, a 2 point move is $70. So I mean, you could really have racked up. You could really have gotten wrecked. Um, I made my money in a couple of these moves and in the ending of this move down here at the bottom, and then I don't need to do anymore. I am done. I am not messing around with the after hours crap. I am finished. But um let's get into a few of these trades here. Yeah, and it's the same stuff that I've been doing this whole time. You'll see I've already I don't know why Streamlabs does that. I really need to download something else and record with. I don't I don't know. But I've already made the money back in those 2 accounts. Um I've already made the bulk of the money in these 2 accounts, and now I'm working on the fifth one. And it's the same narrative for me. Uh Kind of the same narrative. This is a massive, I don't know if this is the massive part of the sell off or not, but obviously I'm short waiting on it to come back down. Uh, 8 ticks take profit with 2 contracts is $70, and it doesn't take very long for 70 to turn into the $400 to $500 goal, as long as you don't let them get away from you. You let them get away from you, and god dang it, they will steal your freaking soul. Well, trading in this manner that I trade in anyway, right? Um, all in all, though, I had a really good day. I've had a really good week. I had a great day yesterday until I decided that I was really just going to gamble the market close. And in doing so, that really cost me. That actually cost me 2 days profit because the last 2 days I've only put an extra 150, $200 into those accounts when they very easily could have been 800. That should have been a $400 day yesterday. That should have been a $400 day today. And and on top of that, now I've got to make extra to get a payout on those 2 accounts because the 30% rule. I don't trade I can, obviously, I can make big dollar days on those accounts, but it's so, shouldn't say that. It's not easy to make profit target, but it kind of is. It's not, you're sitting there watching me do it. It doesn't take very long to hit $400, $500 in an account. It really doesn't. You're sitting here watching me do it in real time, and within 15 minutes, I will have clipped off that dollar amount in that top account, and I will be done. Right? And I'm not trying to be cocky. I hope it doesn't come out that way because I hate that. But when you have a system that works, if you stick to it, then good things happen. And I'm sure there's people that say, "Well, you gambled." Well, yesterday I sure did. Heck did. I certainly did, and it blew up in my face, and I paid for it. Right? Today wasn't a gamble. You can't say an 80% plus win rate is gambling, or to me, you can't. If I was gambling, I'll tell you what, actually, when I take chances and when I gamble and say, God, I don't know which way this is going to go, I'm going to guess this way. Yesterday's results are what I get when I do that. I always get it wrong. Just like the market open, the New York Open, swear, I bet I get that wrong 80% of the time. It is the complete opposite. It's true for me. I get it wrong way more often than I get it right. That's the reason why I kind of try to avoid it a little bit. Just like today when it did nothing but march up for 45 minutes straight, nothing but straight up. I kept telling myself, well, it has to turn around at some point. I wasn't trading it. I was sitting there watching it, but it's like it has to come back at some point, right? No, it didn't. It just kept going. Um, so I do much better when I use some type of fundamental analysis with this, like looking at the SPY, um, pivot points. Pivot points have played huge in especially in this run up this week. Um, yeah. Anyway, I am just glad and grateful to get back on track. I am grateful to be completely out of drawdown on all five of these accounts. I don't like going to bed in drawdown. I don't like ending my day in drawdown. And I'm looking forward to crossing that 5K mark on all five of these, and then I don't have to worry about it anymore. Um, and days like today when I really stack on the contracts and really pile on the money, and it just comes so easily, it makes me want to do it all the time. But dude, all it takes is one. If you are in five contracts, all it takes is one to get away from you, and you hurt. Right? You are hurt bad. Uh, just like this one, I'm sitting through, what is that, 310 at the top of this range. It's negative 310. Well, that would be right around negative 1,000 if there was five contracts on this, right? So if you're sitting in at negative 1,000 and then all of a sudden it shoots up, well, now you're at negative two really, really, really freaking quick. So keeping myself grounded and not trying to stack on contracts is the way for me to go. Uh, this one eventually, all of these come back down to the target. So let's fast forward a little bit. Eventually, anyway. So this is in the middle of this giant sell-off, and that was a huge, massive 200-point dump. And this one right here, I get in a little late, but I'm looking at the SPY. The SPY isn't coming back up. We're not going anywhere but down. So I hop in. Again, I hop in at the very bottom of this freaking move. It was a bad choice. The reason why is I saw this happen so quick. This move right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, those 4 candles down. And I was like, well, we're just going to keep on going, right? So I hit the sell button and it immediately reverses on me. I'm like, you dog, you dirty, dirty dog. But no need to panic out because the volatility was all to the downside at the end of the day. Or right here anyway. I haven't gone back and looked to see what it's doing right now, but at this point in time, it is doing nothing but sell. It is in pure sell mode. Um, and we're closing in on my last 2 trades. This might be the last trade in this account, and then I go back for the other 2 to hit the final profit target in all 3 of these. Just like that. See how quick? See how freaking quick, man? Watch how quick, once it hits the bottom of this channel, look how quick it actually dumps it out. It's crazy to me. It's wow. And this is not sped up. This is 150 tick chart. And yeah, it's, tick chart moves quick, but it is just in massive pure sell mode. And this is probably my last trade of the day, I think. Maybe. Yeah. And that's it. So to recap, yeah, that was it, right? Yeah. To recap, I got back the 2 accounts out of the mud hole that they were in last night. Completely washed all the mud off. Hit the goal in the other 3 accounts. It gives me 7 days traded on one and 4 on the other 4 accounts. And I have a long way to go to get to payout, excuse me. In actuality, I probably won't be able to get the payout until the second one for the month of January. I got a lot of work to do because of that big day that I just put in. But you know what? I would rather have the big day and get back to even than sit here and try to chip away $400-500 a day trying to scrape back the 2,800 that I gave back yesterday. Well, that's the way I look at it. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it. Maybe I just made myself a lot more work, but mentality wise, mentally speaking, I would rather have the drawdown at a zero slate as opposed to working um, from a deficit. That's the way I look at it. So strike while the iron is hot, and that's what I did. So yeah, so I don't know if I said this or not, but y'all can see 7282 on the day, and that puts me up 5608 on the week, and that was a big nasty goose egg for me yesterday. So now you know what I know. That was the update for yesterday and today. As always, I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I will catch you next time. Take care.